Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Jesus, who of course will be getting a mythic character as well once the Conquest update drops. Obviously Jesus is an iconic character. Visually he is looking a lot like you'd expect Jesus to look. He looks just Splinter Cell ninja cross, you know, he's just everything. He's got all the weapons, he's got the double karambits, he's got a crossbow on his back, he's got the samurai sword, you know, he's ready, and he's looking just how you always see and know Jesus in everything. The TV show, Telltale games, the comic, everything. He's that stealthy guy, and he's representing basically what he always is. He was always the same. On the left hand side we can see his art. He's looking pretty manic as he is seemingly jumping forward to take someone out. I'm not sure who that is. Hopefully not me. I'm a good guy, I swear. The art is always looking good, and we can check out his stats. We can bring up the obviously the stats panel. As you can see, I don't think I've shown this. You can just drop and bring up the stats panel just to see the art a little bit better. But we'll bring up the stats panel. As a tier 5 gold mythic at level 600, he has got 13,278 attack, 14,471 defense, and 13,374 HP. He is a fast character with those karambit blades. A character who had karambits in the past. I think we had Rosita who had a karambit, I think. Someone will have to remind me there. He is a support character, and he is of course a mythic character. Now his allegiance is Hilltop, but obviously Jesus could have had allegiance with anybody. Let's be honest, he could have been Hilltop, he could have been Kingdom, he could have been Alexandria. I mean, even underneath his name it says Alexandria's Angels, which is kind of strange considering he's seen as Hilltop allegiance, but that's the way it is. Now if we go across to his adrenaline rush, it is called Keep It Cool. It is a 66 AP cost rush, which is reasonably fast. Deal 2 attacks of 200% damage, 400% total to one enemy. 2 other enemies get disarmed for 2 turns. So it kind of reminds me of S-Class Heng Yen, who was one of the very early S-Class characters. He dealt 2 separate attacks, and those attacks can proc weapon effects. So if you get the double attack fast weapon, which was a promo weapon, and you put it in his hands, you're going to be able to do exactly what Heng Yen did. Actually to a slightly better standard, just based on the fact that the percentages on that weapon were higher. I think the percentages on his rush are a bit lower, but his attack stat is obviously way higher. And you can just go all in on attack stat. You're going for crit multiply. He could have a 100% crit chance as well because he's a fast character. And obviously you can crit on each of those individual hits on his adrenaline rush here. The 2 other enemies getting disarmed is nice, I guess. It is nice to open windows up, but it can be quite good if he's used on a defense team, and Jesus' best stat is his defense stat, so you could potentially put him on a defense team and disarm like double attack weapons or stun on attack weapons, and that can be quite nice. Okay, so we have got our rush up, and we can see Abraham here. He has been stunned. We're going to focus this guy. We're going to do 2 attacks against him with the rush, and 2 other characters should get disarmed. First attack comes in. We're going to hit a big crit, 2 big crits, 16,000 damage total, and we have disarmed Beta at the bottom, and we have also disarmed Gator at the top right. Just worth noting, you do have to have a slot 3 disarmable effect on the characters to disarm them. I learned this the hard way because obviously all of the mythic characters have default weapons with no 3rd slots in, and I thought, hey, disarm's not working for whatever reason, but I actually had to 5-star their weapons to equip weapons on all these characters, which I haven't been doing just because I don't want it to be too extreme for my testing, and well, they've all got 5-star weapons right now, and that's why they are disarmed. So the rush can do a lot of damage. Obviously, if you had that double attack weapon in his hands, you'd do a lot more. If you had crit multiplier on the combat mods, those crits would hit for a lot more. And then obviously, we did hit 2 crits there, but if you had crit expert on his weapon, he'd always hit crit. So they definitely can do a lot of damage with that rush. If he takes out one character with that first attack, then obviously he would go on to a second character, generally prioritizing tough characters, and hit them with the second one. The 2 characters getting disarmed is fairly interesting, but like I said, this character seems to have a bit more defensive stats base, so I could potentially see him being more of a defense team character, and that's where that rush will get even more powerful, because generally, like I always say, characters on attack teams aren't going to have huge amounts of defense and HP, and that's going to play into Jesus's hands. That's exactly the same sort of thing we saw on Mythic Beta, where his kit was very aggressive, but he seemed to be more geared towards being that sort of like defense team assassin and just getting the decaps on those attack team characters. Now, of course, Jesus does have a signature move, and it is called Showing the Path. It has an initial cooldown of turn 2, cooldown of 3, number of uses 999. Up to 2 teammates get focus for 2 turns. Now, this obviously seems extremely basic and low-key, but always remember that signature moves give AP. They work exactly like basic attacks, but you're either going to be doing a bit more damage, or you're going to be doing a buff or like a cleanse or something, or control, but also gain the AP that you would gain from a basic attack, basically. So this isn't going to slow him down. This is going to make it so that he's going to effectively buff 2 teammates, potentially himself in there, and gain that AP at the same time. Now, where I see this useful, again, is kind of on a defense team. I think focus on a defense team is really nice. Just will stop you from being taunted, confused, stop those controls coming in. And then seeing as this is the turn 2, this is basically going to stop big rushes that come in afterwards to do that, control. Okay, so here we are on turn 2. And if I just do the signature move by swiping left, you see I gain the AP, so I'm going to get my natural rush. But also 2 characters got 2 turn focus, and it was Gator and Beta at the top. I do have focus on other characters already because there are other places that my team is getting focus in the kits. Maybe you'll find out where from in a future video. If you did watch some of the original Conquest videos, you will already know, because it was shown there, and that's why I'm using him as my leader. Oops, did I just give that away? Well, that is my bad. So I know exactly what you're thinking. This is not very good. On an attack team, you'd 100% have the choice to do this or not. On a defense team, like I said, you're just gonna do a buff to a couple of teammates. It can go to other teammates, it can go to himself. I don't really see this as a downside. The fact that signature moves have been introduced by where they gain AP at the same time, it isn't a negative. But if it in the S-Class era gave 2 teammates focus for 2 turns and you got, let's say, 50% AP, I think there's pretty much characters that already do that. There's already characters that give focus and gain AP. So, that is definitely something that we've already seen, and I think this signature move isn't too bad on a defense team. On an attack team, you might want to utilize his basic attacks to just do a bit more damage, maybe finish someone off. It's up to you again. Now, Jesus, of course, has some mythic abilities. These are his passive skills. He is a support character, so he gets cunning. When attacking or being attacked, 15% less likely to trigger enemy weapon effects and walker effects. This is when he's being attacked as well. So let's say I've got stun on attack. It could just not even happen at all. Not even like not proc, not have a resist, just not happen. Because that's what it was going to stop. It could potentially stop double attack as well, which is something that has never been able to happen. You can't resist double attack, but this is effectively a 15% resist up against every 3rd slot trigger, which is very, very interesting. You're going to see that on a lot of support characters, as it is the one that is going to be on every single support character. Now, the walker effects one, again, is a nice little bonus. Things like reflect can't be disarmed. There's no way to get past it on a walker except this way. 15% is quite low to take that risk, but at least you've got an option this way. He has, of course, got 3 unique passives, and the first one is going to be called Stealthy. When attacked by an opponent with the Disarm status, 25% defense. Secondly, he has pressure points. When attacking targets with a negative status, he gets plus 10% attack, and this will work with his rush because it's multi-hit. It might work with rushes where it's single hit. I'll have to get that confirmed. Disarm Expert. When this character performs the Disarming Specialist skill, the target also gets minus 15% attack for 2 turns. You see, this is where, in my head, I'm thinking still, against a defense team, that's not really going to do much, but against an attack team, you're going to be lowering what they're trying to increase, their attack, So, again, I think this is more of a defense team character than an attack team character in how I would kind of build him. I kind of build him really defensively, but hitting a lot of crits, basically, and relying on all these passive abilities to get extra damage, and obviously to sort of debilitate the attack team. Now, you've probably noticed he has got the specialist skill Disarm, and this is going to play into his passive skills a lot. He's already got disarm on his rush, but he's also good as a specialist skill. This character will never trigger special or epic weapon effects that activate when an enemy character is defending. That means when he does a basic attack, he'll never get stunned, he'll never get absolute defending, nothing, unless he gets normalized. If he does hit a crit, any follow-ups will have exactly the same sort of effects. They'll never get stunned by that weapon, so on and so forth. That's why disarms are so good. Obviously, because of those passive extras, he's going to do a bit on top. He'll do the minus 15% attack. And then obviously, if he has already disarmed the character, he would do extra damage based on the fact that he does 10% extra damage against someone who has a negative effect on them. Okay, so pretty basic here. You can see Abraham has no effects. I have removed his defense bonus with Beta's signature move. You can check out how Beta works in his video if you want to. But I select Abraham and I do a basic attack. As long as I hit a crit, I will disarm him. But also you can see there's the 15% attack down as well. This is going to be good against those heavy damage dealing characters. And again, like I say, looking like that defense team, annoying sort of like needle in the side of your attack team. That's just going to be doing lots of crits, disabling your weapons, attack down. I think this is going to be potentially working nice. So that's obviously how disarm works, but those are the bonuses he gets from them. When he hits those disarms, the attack down will be a nice little bonus on top. This is going to take a lot of getting used to with the passive abilities, but you basically will want to look at those passives to understand how best to utilize a character. Not just the rush, not just the signature move. The passives can really make a big difference, especially on defense teams, because defense teams just need every little thing to basically get things rolling and get a good defense set up. Now we can go across to Jesus' weapon, and it is the Karambit. As you can see, Jesus Precise Karambit knives. This is what it looks like as a silver weapon, I think. It has got 30 crit base. I would have preferred attack potentially, or if I was going to put a weapon in his hands, I probably would go for defense or HP. Probably defense, just to raise that stat up nice and heavy, because he's already got a defense stat. If I was to use on my defense team, we haven't got the third slots that we know of any of the characters. I'm going to mention this in every video just because I know there are some people who just haven't seen the other videos, and it's worth noting that this weapon has got the potential to be changed upon release. If it does happen before release, I will make video. I'm repeating myself every video, but it's just good for you guys to actually know this. On this guy's weapon, what would I like to see? I definitely would like to see a non-window. I want to see something where you don't want to attack him, where it's going to cause something to happen to the person who attacks them, or Jesus might get buffed or something like that. So basically, I don't know what that could be. Obviously, absolute defense is the obvious choice if you're crafting a weapon, if you're going to have him on a defense team. And if you had him on an attack team, you could use that double attack weapon that I talked about before. So this is Jesus as a mythic character, and I think he's actually pretty decent. I don't think he's spectacular, but if he's geared correctly, he could work quite nicely on a defense team and on an attack team. I don't think he could realistically work on both at the same time. So you're going to have to specialize in this guy and go all out. I don't think he can be evenly spread. I think Beta can have more chance of being evenly spread, even though, you know, they're quite similar. It's just the decap is just so nice on Beta, whereas Jesus, you're going to have to just specialize with him. If you want to make him more of a defense team character, obviously gear him defensively, rely on the passives to get the extra damage out. If you want to make him offensive, just go all out attack, you know, crit multiplier, everything, all the good stuff to get as much damage as possible. And he can definitely do damage because of those multi-hits. You just got to hopefully get a nice weapon in his hands. Crit multiplier, if you've got one already pre-made, if you get this character, you'll just be able to put it straight in his hands. We've talked about this before. All of these characters, you can see these characters right now and know, hey, I want to get this character, I want to get my hands on him, and basically you can start making the weapon for them now. That's the great thing about this with the previews. So if you see Jesus and you want to get him, you can start crafting that crit expert weapon right now. But do tell me what you think about Jesus as a mythic character. What do you think about his visuals? Where do you rank him in the visuals so far versus the other characters we've seen? Please give me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want to check out those other videos, please do. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It will tell you when my videos are released. It will also tell you when I go live on my live streams. But that's it for this current video, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.